Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading. This is actually going to be a reading that's going to be 5 life-changing tips from your future self for between now and the end of the year. So we are going to see what is going on for you. Each row is going to represent one tip that could change your life. Also, I'm using the in-between tarot, and each card represents in between 2 cards, basically. And I don't know, I just thought it would be different. So there you go. For your first tip here, you have this right path card. It says you're on the right path. Keep moving forward. It says you're not lost. Sometimes the right path is not always the easiest. Choosing the wrong path just to satisfy your ego will never end well. So, I feel like you need to just keep going in the direction that you're going on. In this row, you have the 9 of Pentacles, the 5 of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. So I kind of feel like your future self is saying that some of you might feel as if you don't have certain things that you need to continue to be on this path. But I also get this feeling that is saying that you are kind of like on this path. You are on this journey in your life, and there is no getting off of it. So it's kind of weird. It's almost like you've made a decision to stick to something in your life, and whether you realize it or not. And I feel like your future self is saying, even if you don't, it doesn't matter, is what I'm trying to spit out here, Pisces. It's like you have everything you need, and it's like you're already on the journey. I feel like you can't turn around now. There is no going back, so just keep pushing forward, especially if you're working towards something very specific is what I'm getting here. This card is the in-between the 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. How crazy is it that I always talk about building and leaving a legacy, which is a major theme for you? Like building and leaving a legacy. And, it seems to me like a lot of you could be working towards building something, that's bigger than yourself. It's like you're working towards some sort of big goal, wish, or dream, or something that makes you stand out in the world. It definitely makes sense. It doesn't matter what type of Pisces you are, first deacon, second deacon, or third deacon. And, Saturn is in Pisces. And I think that Saturn in Pisces is really kind of forcing Pisces, not forcing you to work, but it's like causing you to maybe work on something that is bigger than yourself. And the 10 of Pentacles can be building, leaving a legacy, like making your mark on the world. So I feel a lot of you are doing that. You also have the 5 of Pentacles to the 6 of Pentacles here. Again, this is the in between those 2 cards kind of energy. And so this is pretty good. To me, this says that you're coming out of the cold, or you are finding the resources necessary. Sometimes, again, if there is no, on this right path card, I just get intuitively that there is no turning around. The universe is saying, you've already started this journey, you're going to finish it one way or, come hell or high water, as they say, right? So it's like you might as well just keep pushing forward. You might as well just do what you can with what you got. And I kind of feel that's what's going on here for you. And, I feel like you're finding the resources. 5 of Pentacles is like a lack of resources. Going to the 6 of Pentacles, obviously 6 of Pentacles is like, well, I'm here. I might as well start experimenting. I might as well start trying my different ideas and things like that. I've been saying to you for a long time, Pisces, that I think what you are going to discover, not even just between now and the end of the year, but, for the next several years, is that a lot of your ideas are going to be very unique and successful. Again, I think your challenge is the fact that there's nothing to compare it to. There's nothing, your ideas, the things you want to do with your life. It's not like you can go I can compare myself to this person or that person. So I think it's looking like you're not making progress when you actually are. You have the King of Swords to the Page of Swords here. And so, I feel for some of you that this is saying that you could be going back to the beginning. Again, you have the King of Swords and the Page of Swords right here on this card. This card is the King of Swords, but, it's the in-between energy. And I kind of feel some of you do need to go back to the beginning of, something here. The Page of Swords is kind of like a detective. The King of Swords is a card of knowledge and wisdom. It's like, the Page of Swords would be learning, and having to learn, and the King of Swords is like the most wise king in the tarot. So, I kind of feel like it's saying you do have a lot of wisdom. Don't forget the little things. Don't forget the beginning stuff as well. I always say it's not the hard stuff that we forget, right? If we're working on a project or a business or a relationship, even it's not like the complicated stuff that we don't remember. It's the simple stuff. It's the little things that we mess up on, right? And I kind of feel it's saying don't do that. We're going to clarify as well with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. With the Nine of Pentacles there, you have this influence card. Do not allow people to influence you either. I mean, I think every single reading that I've been doing for you for a very long time right here has basically said that there could be influences that kind of get you off your path, or, could be other people or how other people feel about things or how you think other people feel about things. I would also be careful of the past returning here. We go down on the Six of Cups to the Seven of Cups here. I feel like you could have been dealing with like a very confused person. Seven of Cups is, confusion, not willing to ground something in reality, very Neptune and Pisces type energy. I always tell people to be careful of getting into like fantasy relationships during Neptune and Pisces, because the fantasy is more, kind of like attractive than the reality. That's not true. That's not the right way to say it, but you know what I mean? It's like you can get caught in the fantasy. So again, if you have if like this first row, the tip is, keep going in the direction that you're going in. Keep working. You're on the right path. You have these thoughts. Even if you haven't started working on anything, I think your thoughts, your mental energy is going in the right direction. Maybe you have ideas of like starting a new project or moving or, something here, creating something bigger, 10 of Pentacles in your life. And this is saying like, don't allow past influences to get in the way. With the the Five of Pentacles, to the Six of Pentacles, you have this negotiation card here. It's actually a pretty good card, but, I do feel it's saying, like, don't settle. I always tell people to be unapologetic in what they ask for, and what I mean by that is it's like, I've heard from a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, I want to make, $10 million, but I'd be happy with one. You're creating conflicting energy when you say that. You are saying you want $10 million, but you're also telling the universe, but also I'll settle for 1 million. So the universe doesn't know what to give you, right? So I think that this is just saying ask the universe, ask your future self for exactly what you want, especially on this path, this journey that you're going on. And again, don't settle. And also don't make the dream smaller. It's like you're on this right path to building the 10 of Pentacles. And I feel like it's saying, like, don't do half the work, do all the work. Whole ass one thing here, Pisces, is what this reading is saying, this first row. With the King of Swords, you have this discrimination card. I feel like this is good. I kind of feel this card is not like discrimination like we think about it. It's a card of discernment, a card of being able to tell like what's right, what's wrong for you. And I feel like you've had a lot of lessons like as far as like what's right and what's wrong in your life. And I do feel this is your future self that is saying kind of, continue to trust this, continue to trust your feelings now. I feel like you've had a lot of lessons of like things that you should have trusted that maybe you didn't. And it's saying, continue to trust that. Continue to trust yourself. For your next tip from your future self, you have this November card. It says, surround with positive people. Be grateful for what you have. The second I put this down, I immediately got that this has to do with your environment. I do feel that there could be something coming up for you in November that you are going to be grateful for. I kind of feel it's something you've been working towards, though. It's like, it always cracks me up when I get comments where people are like, I have to wait till November. I'm like, since when does something not happen and then happen all of a sudden? Like, there are no hard stops or hard starts in life. There are hard stops, but, it's like there is no like hard stop, hard start type of energy. It's like we usually build up to things. So it's like, if this is money, between now and then, you'll probably slowly be making more money over time. It's not, it's not like you're going to be suffering until November. Then all of a sudden the universe is like, oh, it's November. Here's a bunch of money. It doesn't work like that. So again, I feel like that for a lot of you, but what I'm saying is I do feel there's something coming in November, and I do feel this is saying practice gratitude, but again, the word I was getting here was environment. Like, you need to make sure you're surrounding yourself with in doing activities and doing the things that lift you up. I really feel, Pisces, I've said this to you before, like I would be very careful what you're surrounding yourself with, what you're the things that you're consuming, literally consuming, eating maybe, and also the information that is going into your head and all that other stuff, right? I would be very careful of that. You have the King of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and the Knight of Cups here. So I do feel that, this is the King of Cups to the Page of Cups. And I feel for a lot of you that it's kind of like you are, I feel like you're seeing results from a journey is what I feel like saying here with the King of Cups. The King of Cups, he could just represent you, Pisces. So you're showing up in a very strong position here. But he also kind of represents adventure. He goes on adventures, and he normally has a boat behind him, and the boat behind him on a traditional King of Cups kind of represents going on some sort of adventure. But he doesn't know where he's going. And on this card, he's got that Page of Cups, he's got that baby there, And I kind of feel like it's saying you are seeing the results of your baby. Your baby could be literally a baby. It could be a project that you're working on. I feel like you're starting to see something like grow arms and legs, and you're starting to see something move forward in your life. But again, I think your environment is very important. You have the Eight of Swords to the Nine of Swords. Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction. The whole entire reading, just looking at everything here, I feel like the kind of like the overarching message from your future self between now and the end of the year is the universe really, the one big tip out of all of this, I would say, is that the universe really wants you to believe in yourself. I feel like the universe is saying the only person that is limiting you is you, and that's very Piscean, right? That is a very Piscean type of energy. So Eight of Swords says that you need to make sure that you kind of stay open to other ways of doing things, and you need to see other ways of doing things. We go from the Eight of Swords to the Nine of Swords in the in-between tarot with this card. And the Nine of Swords is like a round nightmare type energy, but it's also about being stuck in a comfort zone. Normally on a Nine of Swords, the person has that blanket on their lap, and it kind of represents a comfort blanket. So I kind of feel this row here is saying that make sure that, if there are things in your environment that make you comfortable, right? This tip here for the tip number 2 is, kind of protecting your environment. I really feel that's what your future self wants you to do in this row. And, so again, just for example, I've been trying to lose my fat ass this year, right? And I've been super strict this year, quit drinking last year, actually. But I've completely eliminated anything that resembles junk food in my house, right? And because if I have it in my environment, guess what? I have zero self-control. I'm going to eat it. And I know that. So I just completely avoid it, right? And I kind of feel like this row, it doesn't have to be about weight or anything like that, Pisces. This could be about anything in your life. And, what I would say is that, you need to create an environment of success. There are other things. Like, again, I always talk about how I go for a walk every single day. If I do not go for a walk, my life starts to suffer. Things start to fall apart. Things start to not work out. Because that's like my meditation time. That's like, that's how I meditate. I just zone out when I walk, right? And, I get a lot of answers when I do that. So, I feel there are a million things you can do to improve your environment. And, I would just start thinking about that with this energy. Again, this is the Knight of Cups to the Queen of Cups. I do feel there could definitely be love coming in for you as well. Not really a tip from your future self, but, I feel that there could be a person, if you are looking for love and you improve your environment and you improve the energy around you and the things that you consume and even what you believe about love, then you are going to be very successful. It's always weird to me that I get recommended all these stupid videos on YouTube, right? because of you lovely people. I get recommended the stuff that's like relationships are terrible, then I get recommended stuff from other people where it's like, oh, relationships are amazing, and I've been with my husband for 400 years and like all this other stuff. And it's always like amazing to me. I'm like just seeing the differences between the two groups of people, right? People who can't seem to get their shit together in relationships, and then the people who have an amazing relationship. And really, I think a lot of it boils down to attitude. I hate to tell you, but I do feel this is talking about having a positive relationship, not with yourself as well. With the King of Cups, you have this friendship card. Again, I would be very careful of the people who surround you and who you surround yourself with. That November card is talking all about that. It literally says surrounded with positive people. And again, I feel you are going to notice major improvements in your life if you surround yourself with positive people. With the Eight of Swords, you have this caution card. Yes, you need to be cautious of comfort zones, Pisces, plain and simple. Do not get stuck in a comfort zone. Anything you could do to create more growth or to grow more, I think will lead to a lot of success for you. With the Knight of Cups, you have this Fortune card. Yes, I feel if this is love, could be a Leo, by the way. You've been getting fire in your readings. So, it could be a fire sign in general if you want love. But, again, I feel this is saying that the more you focus on your environment, the more successful you're going to be. So I think, again, the tip here is to really focus on your environment, your surroundings, and creating a positive environment. Even like the things that you listen to, the words that you use on yourself, all of that I would be paying attention to. For tip number 3 from your future self, you have this card that says, to rise, you must let go of fear. We see this here even with the Eight of Swords to the Nine of Swords. Same thing. I really feel that this row is pretty simple. I feel like it's saying, if there are any limiting beliefs or things that are holding you back, you need to look at those things and let them go. You have the Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Swords, and the Six of Cups. This card is in between the Wheel of Fortune and the Justice card. I feel like you're starting to take control of your, kind of your destiny. I always say that the Wheel of Fortune is your destiny in the sense that it is how you see it. It is, it's like, it's not necessarily how the universe sees it. It's your personal vision for your life. And what's one of the best ways we can take control of the Wheel of Fortune is we can pay attention to cycles, things that happen in our life, things that we repeat, or things that do repeat in our life, and we can double down on the good things. We can put up boundaries or try to avoid the bad things. There are certain things in life that we can't avoid that might not be favorable, but with Wheel of Fortune, when you see those things coming, you take care of it right away. You don't allow it to become some, gigantic monster that exists in the dark, right? So, again, Pisces, us Pisces, we are notorious from hiding from things like bills and pretending like they don't exist and just being like, oh, this will just disappear, right? So I feel this row, like your future self is really encouraging you to be brave and to face some things that maybe you would normally run away from here. And once you do that, I feel like you're just going to feel more and more powerful. You even have the Knight of Swords to the Queen of Swords here. And, this would represent a lot of clarity. So I feel, and also funny enough, the Knight of Swords could be like a running away energy, but it's like you have the Queen of Swords. So, on this card, because this is the in between the two energies. So it's like you're gaining clarity. The Queen of Swords, she sees things clearly for the first time. And, I really feel a lot of you could be seeing things clearly in your life, or you could be understanding like what you need to control in your life. You also have the Six of Cups to the Seven of Cups. Again, I would be careful of a past person, just kind of like a side message that's coming in here. It could be like too much of a fantasy or something like that with this energy is what I would say. So, I would be careful of that. I also feel for a lot of you that, the Seven of Cups needs to be manifested on Earth. If you have a fantasy, if you have, some sort of wild and crazy dream, which that first card is clearly talking about, the right path card. You're on the right path. Your ideas are going the right direction. Seven of Cups says you need to bring those things down to earth. I actually love this card because Six of Cups can be a turnaround. It can be a gift from the universe. And the gift we usually receive from the Six of Cups is obstacles being removed from our path. Like sometimes we experience certain obstacles that we have to overcome. And this can represent us kind of overcoming those obstacles. Or sometimes I feel the gift we receive from the Six of Cups is those obstacles being removed, being able to move past them. Or if you've tried to manifest a dream in the past, it can say that you're moving past those things. So let's see. With the Wheel of Fortune there, you have this empathy card. I feel like you need to listen to yourself is really what this is saying to me. It's funny, this is the moon in Pisces, and there's this bird that is like talking to this ear right here. And also, I feel like this is saying you need to care about yourself more than anyone cares about you. You know what I mean? It's like, I really get this energy of putting yourself first. I think Pisces, we're givers, we always give, but I feel it's time for you to kind of like really make sure that you're caring about yourself more than you do other people. And I know that, I'm sure someone's going to come at me for that, but I don't get over it. With the Knight of Swords, you have these, this is Saturn and Pisces, this lost card. It wouldn't surprise me if there are some things that you feel like you're losing, at this time. But again, I feel like you need to get over the fear of loss. I feel that is something that is really holding you back, like fearing that you're going to lose all your money or fearing that, XYZ is going to happen. I know it's cliche, but I really do feel like after living the life I've lived and experiencing great losses at times, right? I'm really convinced the universe will never bring you anything or make you deal with something that you cannot handle. And again, it's funny, like probably the worst loss where I was like stuck in my room for 4 years, where I always say I did nothing with my life after a big business failure, right? It's like really looking back, it really wasn't that bad. At the time, do I want to repeat that? Hell no. But at the time, like it seemed like the end of the world, but really it wasn't that big of a deal. And again, I feel like this is just the fear of loss. I feel like the universe is encouraging you to take risks, but you could be like, oh, what if I do this and lose all my money or whatever? But again, you have this extremism card right here with the Six of Cups to the Seven of Cups, this extremism card. It's like what you are thinking is probably all the way over here, like extreme thinking. And I feel this is encouraging you to not be so extreme. Like, don't jump to those extremes and kind of look at things more realistically. Again, the Seven of Cups is thinking that things are either all good or all bad, when usually nothing is all good or all bad. And, also, Here's the other thing. I know I've said this to you before with this, because I know you've had the Seven of Cups before, like recently. With the Seven of Cups, it's like sometimes I think, and especially Pisces, again, not picking on you, I've totally done this, so, I'm not calling you out at all. I think Pisces can sometimes look at something and think like, oh, this is a fantasy, and if I don't engage with it, then I never failed. But it's like, no, if you didn't try it, you failed. So again, you might have, like, it looks to me like you have some sort of big dream that you're trying to accomplish right now, or something important in your life. But it's like, if you never start, then yes, you did fail. It's like avoiding something is not success, right? And avoiding something is not an answer here. I feel like this reading, the whole entire reading, is encourage you to face something head on. For your fourth tip here, you have this cow spirit. It says the miracles are endless. Love it. Definitely a lot of miracles coming in for you. I do feel like you're coming out of a difficult time. You go from the Five of Swords to the Six of Swords here. You go from the Seven of Wands to the Eight of Wands. It seems to me like this row here is talking about forward movement. Eight of Wands is also a card of momentum. Sometimes I think when we gain momentum in life, it can feel like a miracle, because especially if you've been bumping up against obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, once you do something and you actually see progress, it feels like a miracle. You're like, oh my God, things are actually progressing in my life. You have, again, the Five of Swords, Four of Swords, and the Seven of Wands here. So I love this, that you're going from the Five of Swords to the Six of Swords. It's like I'm hearing you won the battle. Five of Swords is winning at all cost. And, I feel like there were losses, have been losses in your life. There have been challenges and difficulties, but these things have made you stronger. And it's like, now you're leaving these things in the past. I really feel you feel refreshed, as we move through the end of this year. Wow, I feel really good about this now. It's like I feel like you feel refreshed, like you can release things and, just move forward, and you feel like you're ready to kind of like have a true fresh start. Again, I always say, normally on the Six of Swords, the woman and the child in the boat, they're moving on to calmer shores, and they just only have the clothing on their backs. They're leaving everything behind them behind. So it's like you're truly moving forward here. We even see the Five of Swords here. You have the in between the Four of Swords and the Five of Swords. So, I feel for a lot of you, you kind of have been maybe doing some healing, some battling, but now you're coming out on top. So I kind of feel it is the end of some difficult situations that you've been dealing with. And again, you have the Seven of Wands to the Eight of Wands. For some of you, I get this feeling of just being proven right. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It's a card of knowing that you know something. The Eight of Wands, again, is a card of quick success, quick conclusion. It can represent communication. It can also represent momentum. And I really feel momentum for you here. I feel you're building a lot of momentum in life. Things are speeding up. But I kind of feel like you're being proven right. It's like, I feel like people are seeing you in a different way. I've been saying this to you a lot this year. And, again, I really feel that you have the opportunity. It's almost like you have the opportunity here to position yourself as, how you want people to see you, if that makes sense. It's like, I always think there are people who, kind of break the rules in life in a good way, where it's like there are certain people who I think they're able to change people's perceptions, like, of them through hard work or through, whatever. So I feel like you could be changing people's perspective on you, or, this kind of is giving me chills, literally. It's kind of saying to me that, you've been through all these battles, you've come through them, but it's like now the sun is coming up almost. It's almost as if people are finally seeing who you really are, just how strong you are, or something like that. I don't know. I like it. With the Five of Swords, Six of Swords, you have this flirtation card here. So, number one, again, I don't think love is a major theme here. Again, the point of these readings isn't even to necessarily talk about love. That could be a side effect of the things that you work on with these tips, absolutely. But, again, I do feel there could be love coming in for you here, for sure. And it could feel like a miracle. Again, this could be a person as well. If there is love coming in, I feel like it is something that does move quickly, with that Eight of Wands. It's something you're more certain about, I'm getting. You even end with the Ten of Cups as well. So, there could be a solid connection coming in if you want it. Next, with the Four Swords there, you have this enthusiasm card. I feel like you need to move towards your enthusiasm. I feel like people will try to crush your enthusiasm as well. Your job is to block them out, not even worry about it, right? Again, I think when people see you doing well, when people see how, enthusiastic you are and they start hating on it, I feel like you need to realize that they're just haters. That's what they are. They can't see things better. They hate to see people being happy. So, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I do feel you could be seeing people like that or experiencing people like that who kind of they might hate on you, but what I feel like you need to get over and what you need to understand is that they just want to dim your light. And I really feel it's important, speaking with that second row about your environment, that you make sure to surround yourself with people who support your enthusiasm, who support your light, and get rid of the rest. With the 7 of Wands to the 8 of Wands, you have this acquisition card. Could be a Taurus coming in for you. If you want love, definitely could be love. Taurus or a fire sign maybe, but, take it how it resonates. I also feel this 8 of Wands is saying you're like acquiring a lot of momentum. Like I said, I would move in the direction of momentum. I think people, sometimes people, do I have a good example? No, it reminds me, I used to cross country ski when I was a kid, right? And we used to go to this place and there used to be this big hill. And I don't like roller coasters. I don't like any of that stuff, right? I take other risks in other areas of life. Not that. And, what I would say is I used to get to the top of this hill and I always used to like dread going down this hill. But it's like, most of the time I would do it and I would get to the bottom and it's like, I would be like, oh my God, that was amazing. I want to do it again. Right. And, I kind of feel that's true like in business as well. You can gain a bunch of momentum, things start speeding up and you're like, oh my God, I can't handle this, but actually you can. So like, don't panic if things are speeding up in life. If you need to get help, get help. If you need someone to help you, ask someone to help you, do all those things. And I kind of feel that's what that is saying. Finally, for your 5th tip here, you have this card that says, now's your chance to act quickly. Yes, I feel like your future self wants you to act right now. What I don't even know what today is, July something, 14th, right? So, this will be out on the 15th. I think your future self is like saying, move your ass, Pisces, get moving. The whole entire reading says you're on the right path, you're going in the right direction, but I also feel like something needs to stop repeating. You have the 9 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Cups. This is the 9 of Swords to the 10 of Swords, which is telling me that, again, I feel like something needs to stop repeating or something needs to come. You need to end a cycle. You've basically had the 9 of Swords twice in this reading. So, I feel like it's really important that if there's something that has become a comfort zone, even if it's painful, right, there can be things that, I talk about this all the time. There are scientific studies that say, that people who make like $50,000 a year, they get a raise, they start making $100,000, and then within a couple of years, they go back down to 50. Or if they don't go back down to 50, guess what? Their lifestyle rises to meet basically $50,000 a year. So it's like they start spending money to be at the same level that they were at. And I feel like this is saying, your future self is basically saying, be careful of those things of like falling into, painful comfort zones. They're not really comfort zones. They're just, parts of life that we kind of hold on to for whatever reason. And again, there's a big thing in this reading about your identity, who you are and how people perceive you. So it's like you're changing perceptions. You have this 3 of Pentacles here. Again, I do feel positive situations, people in your life who help you grow, who move you forward. Being able to identify people who can do that for you as well is going to be very important. So I think this is something that you really need to pay attention to. I know it's in Pisces nature to help people, which I think is great, but I would also be careful of, number one, helping people who can't be helped, number one. Number two, I would say, it's like, are you really helping someone? I just have like random, it's like you're getting more attention clearly because of what's going on here. This could be in work or business, and there might be people who are, under you basically, who, want you to help them be lifted up. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing it, but number one, make sure that they can pull their weight. And number two, it's like, are you really helping someone by just letting them skip ahead, not have to go through the hard work? And sometimes we are, sometimes we aren't. Again, you have to answer that question. You have this 10 of Cups to the Ace of Cups here. Definitely could be a very solid love connection coming in for those of you who want love. So love it. I feel like this is very good, Pisces. I definitely feel there could be like solid love or something like that. With the 9 of Swords here, you have this convention. Yes, convention is the enemy of progress, right? That's what we're going to say. I keep saying because Pluto going to Aquarius at the end of this year, next year, whatever, I would avoid doing the same things in life over and over and over again. I would make sure that you're adapting, finding new ways of doing things, coming up with different ways of doing things, because, that's where success is going to come from. I do see that. I think it's true for everyone. I think we can get caught in convention, like I said, and I feel we need to avoid that at all costs. So don't be afraid to innovate and try new things. And with the 3 of Pentacles, you have this generosity card. You need to be careful with your generosity. Number one, I feel like the universe is being very generous with you, and for a reason. But again, it's like I think as you become more successful, I feel like you need to become more specific with your time. I feel like you need to become more kind of strict with your time as well. Again, there might be a lot of people who ask for your help, but you can't help everyone, right? So, maybe you need to make sure that you're helping the right people. And, I would definitely pay attention to that. I also feel if you act quickly on whatever this right path is for you, Pisces, then you are going to feel like the universe is being generous. With the Ten of Cups, you have this devotion card. I really do feel you're attracting someone who's very, very devoted to you. I mean, you have some amazing cards. Ten of Cups, this acquisitions card, empathy, flirting. I feel like you're attracting someone who's like a real friend, someone who really cares about you. Something where it's like, this is like my death till death do us part. You can see this dead bird with a living bird right here. How cute is that, Pisces? It's like someone who will be with you to the end, right? And I really feel you could be attracting a person like that. But damn, Pisces, this is a really good reading. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy the rest of your year.